Now then everybody, this is a video that I've been thinking about doing for quite some time and I've decided to go ahead and do it. I am going to attempt to be living with just 14 items. Now, some people may ask why, so I'm going to preempt that now and answer why. Probably just for the sheer spectacle of it, but also to see how simple it truly is, because I, as some of you may know, I've been a pretty extreme minimalist for quite some time, living with sort of under 80 items, but I do occasionally trial having less to see what that is like. Now, the lowest that I've ever got down to is around 33 items, and I've discussed before how I think, although everybody might not agree, arguably I think it's a little bit more difficult for some females, in that some females, because of societal and cultural differences and certain conservatisms, feel like we may need other things that perhaps maybe isn't as essential for males. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about, the typical things like shaving, something to keep our breasts in place and all that kind of thing. Also within that realm is, generally speaking, you know, it seems to be women that have longer hair than men, although obviously sometimes there are women with short hair and there are men with long hair. What I'm getting at is, if you have long hair basically, regardless of gender, that's another issue. It's probably definitely easier for somebody to be even more extreme if they don't have hair, as you're about to see with my very small set of things that I'm going to attempt to live with for 30 days. Now, at this moment in time, I honestly don't know whether I am going to fail this challenge that I'm setting for myself of 3 litre life, but we're going to have a go and hopefully we're going to learn some things from it. Now, I am fully aware, as a lot of you often tell me about, but I was aware of his channel. I know there was at one point a very super extreme minimalist called Craig, and I think his channel was called 10 litre life. Now, I don't know why it was 10 litres, because I do believe he only had about 13 possessions at some point, but maybe that's because his items were larger in size, so we're kind of doing small minimal items as well. So I'm going to show you all what they are and how I have problem solved this to perhaps work for me, and I hope to learn some things about it by the end, about how realistic it is for somebody with long hair that is female, that lives in a reasonably cold climate, not as cold as some, but definitely colder than Florida, which is where Craig lived. Now, I also am being a little bit influenced with this video by another channel that I discovered that hasn't actually made a video for 4 years, and I'll insert a clip of it here. But I came across this video where the creator was discussing more or less bum bag travel and only living with a bum bag. Now, this fascinated me as well, to see whether I could get everything to sort of fit in a bum bag that was realistic, that I would be comfortable living with, which is another reason I'm trialing this, because I really like the idea of going on a trip away, not just a weekend, but quite an extended trip with just a bum bag. Now, what I've discovered so far is this is a very little bum bag. I think it's actually 1.5 litre, so everything doesn't quite fit in here currently, but you can get some bum bags that are about 3 litres, and as you can see by the front, it is roughly the same size as that. So I think if I got a 3 litre, it would all fit in here. But for the time being, because I don't want to rush into buying anything, I like to be mindful about what I'm buying, this is actually my little tech bag. But at some point we may introduce a 3 litre bum bag that would be practical for me to travel with, but that's a whole nother topic. So let's discuss what I think would be my absolutely 14 essential items that I plan to live with for the next 30 days. So obviously the jeans that I'm wearing, my hoodie, my t-shirt, and my current underwear that I have on. So what are we at with that? 1, 2, 3, 4 things. Now, for any of you who know me, know that I also usually straighten my hair. There is no way a pair of straighteners is fitting in here, so as I've been sort of gearing up to over the last couple of weeks on my channel, I'm going to also trial not straightening my hair for 30 days, which is why I have my headband. This headband is hopefully going to be a very multifunctional item for me. When I'm having an unruly day, it's going to enable me to flatten it down. It can also be used as a bobble. I currently don't have a bobble in, I've just plaited it. So I'm going to have to find all kinds of creative way to control my very thick, long hair. So in with the hair section of things and personal care, I have my little Kent Pebble hairbrush. This product that I have is a multifunctional product by Dr. Pawpaw that actually is a shea butter balm, which is good for your lips, skin and hair. I can put it everywhere, and I'm going to have to do that to control my dry skin and my hair over these next 30 days. I have my Dr. Bronner's, which is obviously a shampoo, a shower gel, and you can wash your laundry with it, and it is also a toothpaste. Now, what I think is essential about this for me is if I was thinking for the long-term goal of being able to go travelling with just this bum bag, like I mentioned for the bum bag travel video that was an inspiration to this video, I would definitely need that because that also does wash clothes, and as you were about to see, I would definitely need to be washing a lot of clothes. Well, not many clothes, but clothes often. So what is next? My phone. My phone for 30 days will be the only thing that I am filming with. And my mini tripod will be the only other bit of gear that I am using. Is it light enough? Oh yeah, I think we're light enough. I won't be able to do that soon for 30 days. I have my mini deodorant and I have my travel toothbrush. Now some of you may be thinking, what are you going to do with only one set of underwear? Well, I am also going to use a bikini for the times when I'm washing my other underwear and waiting for it to dry, because I think the good thing about a bikini is it also washes and dries very quickly, so that's my backup. Obviously I don't need this little bag, but the reason it is in the little bag is because I'm still gearing up for if this was a travel option, and I think it would need a little wet, wet dry bag, so that if it was currently drying I could put it in there without wetting the rest of my stuff. And then in here I have my AirPods and my phone charger. Now I actually count my phone charger and my phone as one item because one wouldn't be usable without the other, so it's sort of a set to me. Now for a long time I did also cogitate on these AirPods and whether they were really necessary, and although yes, it would be possible for us to live without a pair of AirPods, because I'm also thinking about the future plan of trying to travel with just the bum bag, I know that I wouldn't personally want to get on a plane without my AirPods. I can't stand really loud noises, so it wouldn't be realistic to go without these. Now I know some of you are probably thinking, well, it's not realistic anyway, but this definitely wouldn't be realistic for me if I didn't include my AirPods, whereas for me, I'm thinking this is quite realistic for at least, like, if I was to go away travelling for 30 days, I think I could actually travel with this for 30 days. We'll see whether, it's actually realistic for while you're at home. I sort of already know before I do it that it wouldn't be obviously realistic for a cold climate, and it wouldn't be realistic for the colder months in the UK, which is why I'm doing it throughout the warmest months. Now in here, I also have a little bit of clothing other than this, because obviously I would need to wear something while my other clothes are washing. I might want something to relax on in an evening, or if it was very warm and I didn't want to wear my jeans. So I have two vests, very smallly rolled up in there, and I have a little new to me purchase of some linen shorts. What I like about the linen shorts is they're just so little and they're a change for me to be able to wear. So this is what it is all looking like, and then that's it. The bag is empty. Obviously I would probably wear the little bag with these when I go out and vlog, but that is all the stuff, and at some point that is going to be swapped for a 3 litre. so that all that will fit in there, as this is only 1.5. But this is the bum bag challenge that I'm setting myself because at some point in the future I would really like to travel just with this, and I would also like to experiment with that before I go, just like a bit of a spectacle challenge as well, like you see on some of these niches that are all about spectacle and just fun and entertainment, and seeing, and actually from a side note and a side point of seeing what it would be like for myself to be completely natural, as I've sort of pointed towards in these previous few videos, of not straightening my hair, not wearing any kind of skin coverage, you know, not any tinted moisturiser, and embracing the au naturel just for a short period of time. I know myself, and I know that long term I probably might want to introduce that back in, but let's have a go. Let's have a go for these 30 days. And the only thing I haven't really mentioned here is I would also be wearing my Birkenstock sandals. They're just in the hallway, but you've all probably seen them before, and I think that's okay. We may do a halfway point to see how I'm getting on, see whether I do really miss something and have to introduce it back in for a few more items. Now you're probably all thinking that is more than 14 items, and it is because I haven't counted the consumable items. I believe, I'm not sure, some of you can let me know if you're more in the know of when Craig did his 13 items Extreme Minimalism channel. I can't remember whether he actually included his consumable items or not in that 13 items, but I can only get it to 14 even without my consumable items, so with them it's sort of 17 really, I think. So it is what it is. I think as somebody with long hair, perhaps we do need a little bit more, so these and these, but we're going to do our best to see what it is like with living with just these items. I hope you all enjoy this challenge that I'm going to try out, because I think it's also a sustainable way to try something like this. For instance, when I watched this bum bag travel channel that I've at some point put a clip in of, and also when I used to watch Craig's 10 litre life channel, I did used to wonder how realistic that is, even from my perspective of being somebody who lives with, you know, 80 items or less. And these channels sadly keep deleting themselves when they're this sort of small with the amount of items that they own, and I sometimes wonder whether that is the reason, because it's not sustainable perhaps. I'm only surmising. So I want to see how this personally is sustainable for me, and whether by the end of the 30 days I have absolutely given in and, you know, gone to the other extreme of thinking, whoa, I cannot cope with that amount. So I hope you all enjoy this next 30-day journey with me. I'll be making my regular videos as well on a Thursday, maybe even a couple of extra videos, but I will also do a halfway point update of how I am getting on. So see you all in the next one. Bye!